Welcome, friends, to a journey through time, a journey to ancient Israel where a man named Jesus walked among men preaching a new way, a radical departure from the rigid structures of the time. His words, filled with compassion and love, resonated with the common folk, but they also ignited a firestorm of opposition from those in power. Today, we delve into the annals of history to understand those who stood against Jesus. Who were they and what motivated their animosity toward this enigmatic figure? Was it fear, misunderstanding, or something more? Let's step back in time, carefully sifting through the sands of history to unveil the truth behind their opposition. Imagine a society deeply rooted in tradition, where every aspect of life is governed by a complex web of religious laws and customs. The Pharisees, esteemed scholars and interpreters of the Mosaic law, were the guardians of this way of life. They meticulously studied the scriptures, ensuring every jot and tittle was observed. But Jesus, with his message of love and forgiveness, challenged their rigid interpretations. He saw beyond the letter of the law, focusing on the spirit, the heart of true faith. He criticized their hypocrisy, their outward displays of piety that often masked inward vanity. This challenge, this questioning of their authority, struck at the very core of their identity. Could it be that their deeply held beliefs were being questioned by a seemingly ordinary man? The Pharisees found themselves at odds with Jesus, their opposition fueled by a potent mix of fear and wounded pride. In the hallowed halls of the Jerusalem temple, the high priests held sway. These men, the keepers of religious rituals and sacrifices, wielded immense power, both spiritual and political. Their authority, intertwined with the Roman Empire, depended on maintaining order and control. Jesus, however, represented a disruption to this delicate balance. His teachings, his claim as the Son of God, threatened to undermine their authority. The crowds that flocked to him, eager to hear his words, raised concerns of unrest and rebellion. The high priests, fearing for their position and the stability of their world, saw Jesus as a dangerous threat. His presence, his message, challenged the status quo, forcing them to confront the possibility of change, a prospect that filled them with trepidation and a need to protect their power. The scribes, the learned men of their time, dedicated their lives to studying and interpreting the Mosaic law. Their knowledge, their understanding of the ancient texts, made them essential figures in Jewish society. They served as advisors, teachers, and judges, their interpretations shaping the very fabric of daily life. When Jesus arrived on the scene, his teachings and his radical interpretations of the law challenged their long-held beliefs. He spoke of love, compassion, and forgiveness, concepts that seemed to contradict their strict interpretations of justice and retribution. The scribes, accustomed to their role as the ultimate arbiters of the law, struggled to reconcile their understanding with the teachings of Jesus. Their opposition stemmed from a clash of ideologies, a resistance to change that threatened to upend their entire worldview. The Jewish leaders of Jesus' time were a diverse group, ranging from elders and community leaders to influential teachers and rabbis. They were the keepers of tradition, the voices of authority within their communities. Their lives were steeped in the scriptures, their beliefs shaped by generations of interpretation. The arrival of Jesus, however, presented a profound dilemma. His teachings, his claim to be the Messiah, challenged their deeply held beliefs. Could this man, born in humble Bethlehem, truly be the fulfillment of prophecy? Torn between their reverence for tradition and the compelling message of Jesus, many leaders found themselves caught in a web of doubt and uncertainty. Their opposition, often fueled by a desire to protect their people and their way of life, reflected the profound struggle between the old and the new. The Roman Empire, with its vast reach and iron grip, ruled over Judea during Jesus' time. Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor, held the power of life and death, his primary concern maintaining order and quelling any hint of rebellion. Jesus, with his growing following and message of a coming kingdom, represented a potential threat to Roman authority. His teachings, though spiritual in nature, could be interpreted as subversive, a challenge to the emperor's divine right to rule. While the Romans may not have hated Jesus personally, they saw him as a political liability. His crucifixion, a brutal execution reserved for the most dangerous criminals and rebels, was a calculated act to maintain control and crush any potential uprising. The story of Jesus and his opponents is a timeless tale, a tapestry woven with threads of faith, power, and the enduring human struggle for truth. It reminds us that even the most deeply held beliefs can be challenged and that progress often comes at a cost. As we reflect on the motivations of those who oppose Jesus, we are forced to confront our own biases and prejudices. How often do we allow fear, pride, or the desire for control to cloud our judgment and hinder our understanding? Thank you for joining us on this historical exploration. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.